Here's the kennel room. So he came in, he's seen that there's kennels.
And he walked back out.
Came in curious, which I like to see, feeling good, looking good. Seeing the kennels, came back out. I want to turn the video on now so that you can then see, with a little bit of work that I've done with him with that recall, how I'll use the recall just to keep him in the conversation. That's going to be the first thing. Because like you said, if you're trying to get him in a kennel and he says bye-bye and like he's heavy, what we can do is stand by the kennel or whatever situation we're in. He goes to run away. We're just going to correct and recall him back. Come back here, buddy. He comes back, good boy. Now, as I was saying, we need to talk about going in the kennel or whatever it is you're doing. It could be nails, it could be bathing time or whatever. The flight, the leaving, you let him do that and then he'll stop and then you can talk directly about this. Now he does have other options. He could just, I'm not going in. Or he could get really, really, really worked up and say, leave me alone and bite. Right? These are realities. It's going to depend on the temperament, the experience, the background, what he does, but this recall allows me to keep him in the conversation, right? And then I can correct and direct while I'm there. Don't do this, do this. Don't do this, do this. And we go. The only time that we might see it being a difficult thing is if the dog's just like, I don't want to listen to you. I don't want to listen to you. That's really what it is. He understands what I'm telling him to do, as he's probably understanding exactly what you're telling him to do. He's saying, no, I'd rather not. What happens when we say, don't tell me that? Let me just see what he does here, because I have a feeling he might want to be in. Nice big one for you? What do you think about that?
He says no, thank you.
No? Okay,
I'm good.
So now we see.
He said, no, I'm going to walk away.
He already thought about the walk away. He knows the recall's on the table, so I kept him in the conversation. Now, the last thing I'm going to do is stuff him in there, right? Watch. Come here, bud. See?
Wrong person.
Yeah, correction.
Go back to
so
dodge.
That's the missing element, is the correction. I applied it and it did something. It got him back to me. Good.
He knew I was the wrong person. He's just looking for a person that's not going to ask him to listen.
1,000%. Good. And they all do, right? Good. This is not like, anytime you see them being like unfaithful or whatever, every dog comes through who does this. The only difference is the intensity of how big of a, temper tantrum they have in them, right? Good boy, that was good. That's what we call being able to take a correction and then be directed. That's the recipe for success. He took the correction, he turned around and said, what would you like? So he got corrected and directed. If he can be corrected and directed, we can shape him, But what if they put up a fight and they don't want to be directed, blah, blah, blah? It's natural. That's why that pity came in and had to do it multiple times. Listen, this is how it goes around here. Don't run around me. Don't pester me, right? Good boy. Very nice. Love the state of mind. He's looking good. He's looking confident. Let's talk about the kennel. So we just had a conversation. Good. Good. He walks up to it.
Sniffs it.
See, the thing about
he says, here's where I draw the line.
He just admitted that he knows what I'm saying.
Yes.
So
he's
now
not dumb.
So we don't have to worry about that. We don't have to, does he not know what I'm saying? No, he's not dumb.
And if you give up, if you say, oh, he doesn't want to go in, I'm going to give up. Yeah. Then you've just told him, oh, there's a way out of listening. And that's going to it's going to happen at the brewery when you want him to lay down, when you want him to walk nicely. He's going to say, no, the rules are negotiable. Because that one time, he didn't make him go in the kennel.
Exactly. So, honestly, this is how I live with my dog. If I don't plan on following through, I won't ask him.
Don't ask.
I'm not telling him to do something unless I am ready to get up and correct if he doesn't.
Because it sends such a big picture to the dog. Oh, the rules are not applied all the time.
You have to make them, you know how we have law, right? Of course, the owner's a police officer.
Yeah.
Law keeps us all in line so that we can be civil and, and have as much harmonious living as possible, right? Things aren't as chaotic as they would be without the law. We respect the law.
But we only respect the law because there's actions taken if we don't.
And they're not rewarding us for not speeding.
I know. I wish they would.
Oh, you didn't speed past me. Let me pull you over and give you a reward. No, they're only giving the punishment for when you're speeding. And guess what? It works. It works.
The reward.
Do you alter your behavior when you're around the cops? I didn't.
The reward for not speeding is the absence of the punishment.
100%. So, same thing here. If I didn't respect the law because I got pulled over but I got out of it, and then I got pulled over and I got out of it, right? No ticket.
You're crying, you're cute.
Still getting out of it. Guess what? I'm not learning my lesson. And I'm going to manipulate.
Yeah.
And so...
Look at him sniffing you.
Well, he's starting to see me as pack number and leader as we go on here. so he's gonna feel more comfortable. A lot of his stuff is stranger. He's just like, where's my pack? So you're seeing, you know, cautious. Where's my pack? And nothing. Where's my house? He's 7 months. Very unnatural for him to just be somewhere new like that. Boom, drove. You know. So he's doing pretty well. Okay, buddy, come on in. So then I use a verbal, but it's not.
Yes.
Talk about my informal. Let's go.
He's like, all right, but not all the way.
I'm using informals though. I'm not using a command. So I'm saying, let's go. I'm not saying come, sit, down, right? I'm suggesting. I'm suggesting. But then look. But then I correct that. Correction.
Bring it back.
As soon as the mind says I'm out of the conversation, you correct and bring it back to the conversation. That's good. Look. Right? It's wonderful. He's like, yeah, I don't want to. And what he's going to learn is, as our relationship goes on, this isn't even negotiable. The fact that he thinks that we can debate about it is why he's struggling at home, right? So he's just treating me how we treat any human. But slowly, these conversations we're having are going to end different and shape the way he responds to them. All right, buddy, let's go. So you see my tone, right? And I'm going to use my good old faithful beat. Come on. He doesn't know this yet, but
nice
job. But yet it generalizes.
All hands free.
Good. Yeah, I want to pick up the leash if I have to, right? Right now, because I want him to make choices. Come on, bud, let's go. Watch that paw.
Did you see him look back?
I did. Yeah, he's making the choice, but he's thinking a lot. Stay.
He looked back and said, maybe I won't try walking away this time.
This beep is so amazing because it is the same sound. It happens right by the ear. It doesn't matter if you're, half a mile away. I think this goes up to. He'll still hear it, and it's consistent. So that it produces movement because we're using it as the recall. So if I'm telling him to go in there or go to the place bed, and he doesn't listen. If I beep early on like this, first session, you can see it moves them. You understand? So then I can start holding him accountable and correcting, and then we can get this smoothly. So he's in there, took a few corrections.
Very nice.
But he took the corrections and then he took the directions.
Yes.
Which is
rare.
That is the link, that is the thing that allows for success. If we don't have that, then what we have is if we try to correct, we have a dog that then corrects us back.
Yeah.
And then what happens? You know, two dogs, if one corrects the other, let's say this, let's take your dog that corrects him for being too much around him. If he corrected that dog back,
then there'd be a scuffle and
it wouldn't be a correction anymore.
Yeah.
It would be a fight. Right?
Yeah.
So then with the owner and the dog, you're correcting your dog, which you should be able to do as the leader human of your puppy. Then he corrects you back, and then what happens there? Same thing. You have your back and forth.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to go through that. But guess what? They require for you to validate that you're worthy to follow. They require you earning it through that, just like the pit bull had to earn that respect. That pit bull is being left alone now because he put in the work to earn enough respect that he can be left alone. And we're going to do the same with him, that we can have enough respect that we can tell him what not to do and what to do. Okay?
Nice job.
Good.